My friends, there's no honor among thieves or among professional liars. And that's the message I want to begin with today. Howard Riell, Riell Truth, item from Fox News. Former Democratic National Committee Chairwoman Donna Brazile said she felt betrayed by CNN anchor Jake Tapper in the controversy over her decision to share Democratic debate questions with Hillary Clinton last year, an act she has since admitted. Brazile, a former CNN contributor, recalled in her new book when emails stolen from Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta showed she relayed information about possible topics that would be brought up during the Democrat primary debate hosted by her network. The next day, even Jake Tapper took a swing at me, calling me unethical and journalistically horrifying during a radio interview with WMAL, even though I work for CNN as a commentator and not a journalist, Brazile wrote in her new book. When I called him on this, he did not apologize. His attack on me was really about him. He wrote in an email, quote, "I don't know what happened here except it undermines the integrity of my work and CNN. You have to know how betrayed we all feel," unquote. All right, my friends, let me inject a little truth here. First of all, you must understand that Donna Brazile is a chunk of snot. She is a liar. She is a political hack. She's a fake. She did indeed funnel questions to Hillary Clinton in advance of the presidential debate, which is as dishonest as it gets. So her attempt to take some kind of moral high ground here is totally wasted. As far as Jake Tapper, I must tell you, he is also a lying ball of snot, but at least here he was showing some integrity. Now, working for CNN, that can get you fired. But here he was showing some integrity by telling Donna Brazile to her face that what she did was slimy, and it was. Where I take issue with Jake Tapper is where he says that it undermines the integrity of CNN. Jake, CNN has no integrity. CNN has worked overtime to destroy whatever little bit of integrity it may ever have had. CNN is fake news. CNN has been called the Clinton News Network for a reason for decades. So Jake Tapper can get all wet in the pants if he wants about what Donna Brazile did. He is just as guilty, and the sewer for which he works, fake news CNN, is just as ethically slimy. These are liars turning on each other. No honor among thieves, no honor among professional liars, no honor at CNN. So why any American would ever watch CNN totally baffles me. Okay, now that I'm totally baffled, we can go forward. This is Riell Truth. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once.
What are we going to do?
Message from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
Liberty
Piccolo's Restaurant in Denver reminds that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's Restaurant in Denver is not only the best Italian depiction of being, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166.
All right, folks, let's start with a bang, shall we? We shall. By the way, my name is Howard Riell. The show is called Riell Truth. I know that because I named it myself. Ed Gillespie, Republican, lost the election yesterday in Virginia, the election for governor. It sucks, but let's take some lessons from it if we can. Here's Ann Coulter on the Mark Simone Show. Go. My friends, I am dedicated to seeing to it that this does not happen to the entire country. Virginia is now a Democrat state. Well, I guess they can look at a long history of Democrat policies that have done really well, right? The problem is there is no long history like that. Democrat policies have traditionally been fruitless. They've accomplished nothing. They've made things worse. Take a look at Chicago. Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at New York financial disaster areas. Take a look at New Orleans. Longtime Democrat strongholds, and life is almost unbearable. So if people want to continue voting Democrat, I guess it's their right. But, you know, you also have a right to be smarter than you were last election. Let's take a break and we'll be back. More Real Truth to come.
Clean power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Power systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled within any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities and modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to greatplainsolar.com.
The Lord makes the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people to them. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation, God is the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America's News Network.
All right, my friends, we are back. Riell Truth, Howard Riell. You know, I try and put the most intelligent people I can find on the air with me to give you the very best insights and analysis. I just did that with Ann Coulter. I'm about to do it again with Newt Gingrich. Here he is speaking the truth, which that Donald Trump has been stunningly effective as president, and that reporters covering politics in D.C. are a bunch of idiots. Newt Gingrich.
Donald Trump is prompting a lot of soul searching in Washington, D.C.
My friends, this chick who is interviewing Newt Gingrich, this bimbo, is attempting to match wits with someone who's got 2, maybe 3 times as many IQ points. She's trying to throw mud on Gingrich and on Donald Trump, and Gingrich is showing that she's a twit. It's fun to watch, although I feel sorry for her a little bit. Now, this is supposedly a journalist. So instead of asking questions, she's shooting back her ideas, her opinions, trying to counter. Instead of asking questions and listening to answers, she's actively involved in trying to counter what Newt Gingrich is saying. This is what they call fake news, or at least the attempted fake news. She's completely outgunned by Newt Gingrich.
The election, the first president maybe in American history where you'll actually have fewer pages of regulation, I think, next year than you had this year. Remarkable change in the pattern of regulatory power, getting power back to the states. Look at the tax bill, the opposite of what Hillary did. He wants to cut taxes, she will raise them. Look at Betsy DeVos as Secretary of Education arguing for school choice and the parents' right to have their children go to schools that work, compared to the total ownership by the unions of the Hillary Clinton operation. Look at the 57 Sunni countries who met with Trump in Riyadh, the king of Saudi Arabia meeting him at the airport, something he had not done with Obama, spending 3 days by his side. Trump in many ways has been a stunningly effective president. He just, in the echo chamber of the left-wing hostile Washington press, it is virtually impossible for people to see what Trump is really doing.
That's absolutely correct. You know, my friends, you know what's going on in the world because you listen to Riell Truth. I'm guessing a lot of you listen to Fox News too, where you do get an awful lot of truth. But a large portion of America listens to MSNBC and CNN and CBS and NBC and ABC, which is crap. They don't give you the truth. In fact, they intentionally give you lies. And so while Donald Trump has been an extremely effective president, not even in office a year yet, he's been extremely effective. You would know it by listening to the fake news media. Gingrich is exactly right on. Now let's hear this info babe in a short skirt. I understand how she got hired. Let's hear what she says now.
Do you take any responsibility for Trump's
By the way, my friends, Gingrich just made another excellent point. Taking on the news media. I want you to search your memories. Who was the last president to take on the news media? Well, there really wasn't one. Richard Nixon did it to some degree only because they were attacking him, and he was forced to. Other than that, take a look at the two Bush presidents. They wouldn't raise a voice. Shh. You don't want to offend the media. Well, here comes Donald Trump, honest guy, outspoken guy. He says, screw the media if they're going to lie, and they do. Screw them if they're going to play partisan politics, and they do. So Trump is a ballsy kind of president. He doesn't mind taking on the Chinese, the North Koreans, the Russians, the Democrats, the Republican Party, the swamp, and the media. This is something Trump doesn't get enough credit for. He has taken on the media, and he has exposed just how biased and dishonest the major media is. This, in and of itself, is a fantastic accomplishment. He's not given enough credit for doing that.
The willingness to take on political correctness.
My friends, mull that for a second, will you? Mull that. Trump said about NAFTA, if he could fix it so that it was good for America, he would. Otherwise, he would kill it. He's talked about killing the Iranian deal. Now he talked about killing this deal with Canada. What other presidents have been bright enough and courageous enough to say, you know what, let's just kill this initiative? Normally, presidents are cowards. They're on their knees in front of the press, in front of other world leaders. The only people they're not on their knees in front of are, to a large degree, voters, about whom they could care less. Trump takes principled positions. He's not waiting for the next focus group results to come out to decide where he is on an issue. He knows where he is, and he's moving with strength and confidence. What a departure from the mealy-mouthed losers we've had in decades past.
Through Congress.
All right, guys, that is Newt Gingrich making a monkey out of this Canadian reporter who did her best, give her credit, did her best to try and slander Donald Trump, and she failed. She just didn't have the IQ points or, by the way, facts on her side. Item from The Sun. Tiny human brains injected into rats have sparked a major ethical debate among scientists worried it may give the rodents some type of human consciousness. Esteemed science ethicists claim the experiments might reach a point where the test lab rats will be, quote, entitled to some kind of respect, unquote. My friends, I don't know exactly how I feel about injecting brains into rats, but I would be in favor of an experiment to try to inject some brains into Democrats. You think about that while we take a break. When we come back, I got lots more for you, my friends. It's Riell Truth. Need I say more? Go nowhere.
Please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Phyto Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Phyto Superfood from VitalAge.com. And now, it's just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Phyto Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with full of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Phyto Superfood for the brain helps with memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Phyto Superfood has zero toxicity and it tastes for you and your family. Learn more and order your Phyto Superfood formulas at VitalAge.com. Spelled VitalAge.com. VitalAge.com. Or call 877-877-911. VitalAge. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interacting systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities, modest emergency lighting, all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. And the Word became flesh and blood among us, and we beheld His glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of Him and cried out, saying, This was He of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for He was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. The United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, guys, I told you I'd be back, and I am back. I am going to continue to bring you the best minds in conservatism, the best minds in America. We've had Ann Coulter, we've had Newt Gingrich. Now I'm going to bring you Steve Bannon. This is from Breitbart News Daily earlier today. Go ahead, Steve.
The person who understands it better than anyone is with us.
The lesson, my friends, is unmistakable. America, a large portion of America, wants what Donald Trump is offering. And so politicians, Republicans who want to win, have to align themselves strongly with Donald Trump. And if they don't, they're going to go the same route that Gillespie went, right down the toilet. Item from Grabian.com. The arrogant Clinton campaign was more like a cult than a political campaign. That startling accusation came not from a Republican, but from former chairman of the DNC, Donna Brazile. It was a cult, Brazile said of the Clinton campaign. I felt like it was a cult. Brazile further said the main reason Clinton lost was due to her arrogance. The comments came during an interview on MSNBC's Morning Joe, unquote. My friends, this is another case of Democrats turning on each other, like rats eating each other when they're trapped in a ditch. Donna Brazile tells the truth, finally, and believe me, wrenching the truth out of the mouth of a professional Democrat is not easy. And yet, because her particular ox was gored, Donna Brazile has a book out, and now she's telling the truth, and now she's saying that everything that I've been saying and that Donald Trump has been saying for more than a year was right. We'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Coates, founder of the Green Earth.
Well, it had to happen. Colorado legalized marijuana. One big default the Green Earth was the marijuana dispensary. Also, it was legalized on January the 1st, 2014. The same day we opened our new location at 4565 Gibbon Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-70. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Gibbon Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So, we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Earth Supplement. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-1372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nature Show within the bill every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Now this is the testimony of John, the youth and priest and Levites from Jerusalem, that asked him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, vessel for the courage of the United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women have confessed that the bill for our freedom every day and delivered to the church to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers with their prophet. This message is from the epistle at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Hollywood. They're on the air because they care.
All right, my friends, let's get the players straight. Linda Sarsour is a Muslim woman, Muslim activist. She's pro-Palestinian. She's pro-terrorism. She's anti-Semitic, all that garbage. And liberals love her. Milo Yiannopoulos is an openly gay conservative commentator. Here he is on TV talking about Linda Sarsour. And then later on, we're going to hear, later on in this video, we're going to hear from others, from Ben Shapiro, talking about Linda Sarsour. Go. All right, my friends, so two things right off the bat. Get past this canard that Berkeley was the beginning of the free speech movement. The free speech movement happened back in the 1700s when we became a country. Free speech was enshrined in our Constitution. That was the beginning of the free speech movement, not Berkeley, California in the doped-up flower power 60s. Forget that. It's a lie. Number two, the idea, which is all too prevalent today, that colleges and other institutions need to protect snowflake young people, tender, fragile, innocent young people, from words that may shock their sensibility. Well, more than maybe anything else, that signals the decline and eventual end of America. If our young people are too delicate to hear things they disagree with, then what the hell happens to the whole concept of America? What happens to the battle between ideas in the intellectual marketplace? If you can only say things that won't offend anybody or won't hurt someone's feelings, then what have you got? You've got maybe group therapy, but you don't have a country. Let's go back to this chick.
The boycott cited demands that during
By the way, my friends, what the hell is Free Speech Week? Does that mean for 7 out of 365 days, you're allowed to say whatever you want? What about the other days? I assume since this 1 week is Free Speech Week, that the other 51 weeks a year are non-free speech weeks. It's absurd on its face. Go ahead, Milo.
let's say political commentation.
By the way, let me throw in a thought here. Let's say you had a professor teaching math, and the module is 6 months long. What if he only decided to teach for 4 months? In other words, he was only going to teach some things, but not others. So instead of teaching for 6 months, he only taught for 4. What would happen to that professor? Right. He'd be an ex-professor. Well, by not exposing these college kids to the entire other side of the political spectrum, it's kind of sort of like the professors are taking half a year off, right? And should be fired, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you common sense.
Very restricted sort of education when they're not exposed to.
All right, to the mayor of Berkeley, the guy is such a putz, I don't know where to begin. He's shutting down free speech because there may be violence. Well, here's a radical suggestion. How about allowing free speech and shutting down the violence? But there I go, making sense again. I apologize.
It's going to cost a lot of money to keep things secure.
And my friends, by the way, this is where Germany was at in the 1930s, when if you expressed the wrong idea, brown shirts would cart you off to jail where you would probably be shot in the head. Yeah, this is where America's at today, where Germany was back in the 30s, where the Soviet Union was, where people were afraid to speak for fear the KGB was listening. My friends, if this doesn't scare you out of your wits, if this doesn't chill your blood, then you better hold up a mirror in front of your mouth and breathe onto it and see if you're still alive. This is the scariest thing I can think of. Slowly but surely, methodically, freedom's draining from the United States. That can only happen if we permit it. Why do you think I'm always telling you this? Get and stay angry. Because when you're not angry, you're complacent. And when you're complacent, the bad guys win. All right, we'll take a break and we'll come back, my friends. No bad guys are winning on this show. That I promise you. We'll be back.
And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of any. The Riell Superfood formulas are whole products composed with more of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Riell Superfood for the brain, with focus and great blood and food. If you can increase blood health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Riell Superfood has zero toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Work home and order your Riell Superfood formulas at 508.com. Spelled IOAGE.com, 508.com, or call 877-89116. That's 877-288-5116. 508. And of His fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, He has declared Him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. We leave the block of time and Elizabeth reminds our listeners that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at 38. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. That's promoted at the Little Hopper plant located at 366 Grand Avenue. Serving our area 1943 and specializing in naturalized HB and pork and food custom process. More free 678-2240. That's 03-678-2240.
Four minutes and counting. Let's go. Item from InfoWars. CNN has released a new poll that shows the fallout from the revelations from former interim DNC chair Donna Brazile that the Democrat primary was rigged in Hillary Clinton's favor has caused the party to sour among voters. The numbers haven't been this bad in 25 years. Only 37% of Americans have a favorable opinion of Democrats, down from 44% in March of this year. A majority, 54%, have an unfavorable view, matching their highest mark in polls from CNN and SSRS, CNN ORC, and CNN USA Today, Gallup stretching back to 1992. Unquote. My friends, Americans are finally waking up to the fact that the Democrats are their enemies. Item from the Daily Beast. Mariah Carey allegedly referred to her former head of security as a Nazi, a skinhead, a Ku Klux Klan member, and a white supremacist, according to complaints contained in a draft lawsuit reported by the website TMZ. Lawyers for Michael Anello, who headed up Carey's security company, have prepared the papers, which also accuse Carey of exposing herself to him. Anello says his company worked for Mariah from June 2015 to May 2017 and were not only stiffed on more than $200,000, but were also denied another promised 2 years of work, which would have added $511,000 to the tab. In the suit, Anello says Mariah humiliated him and his colleagues by referring to them as members of the hate groups, according to TMZ. and claims that Mariah, quote, wanted to be surrounded with black guys, not white people, unquote. The draft lawsuit also makes allegations of sexual harassment, claiming Carey performed, quote, sexual acts with the intent that they be viewed by Anello, unquote. My friends, this is a country that is absolutely obsessed with celebrity. Okay, here is one of the celebrities that people love. Mariah Carey. I'm guessing any day now they're going to award her sainthood. And it turns out she's a piece of crap, just like all the other Hollywood and music business whack jobs. Wean yourself off of celebrities. If you want heroes to worship, look at parents who work hard to do the very best for their kids. Those are heroes. Item from InfoWars. A shooting spree that took place on a major Texas interstate over the weekend left a 7-year-old child in critical condition and several people injured. Austin police arrested illegal alien Rolando Martinez, 25, on Sunday evening, following several reports concerning a man who fired a long black rifle at people from a vehicle on Interstate 35, unquote. My friends, Rolando Martinez, here illegally, allegedly shooting people, including a 7-year-old. Perhaps Rolando Martinez has dreams of the future. Perhaps he's a dreamer. Perhaps we should clutch him to our bosom. Or perhaps, if he's guilty, he should be shot in the head and deposited back on Mexico's side of the border. Item from WEEI.com. Last week, an ESPN magazine cover story that was titled Tom Brady's Most Dangerous Game was released. It contained several bits about Bill Belichick surrounding the Patriots organization. One was a friend of Belichick saying, quote, there's a collision coming between him and Guerrero, and also his friends give him 2 or 3 more years to coach. On Dale and Holly with Keith Monday, Belichick acknowledged he read the piece and called the unattributed quotes as, quote, fake news, unquote. My friends, not the first time ESPN has been referred to as fake news. And the reason it's referred to as fake news is very interesting. It's that they broadcast fake news. We're in a very interesting time in our history, my friends, where major media companies lie at will to the American people. We can get back at them by shutting them out. So much for ESPN, so much for CNN. Down with fake news and up with real truth. I'll be back tomorrow. Hasta luego.